Hey everybody, this is TJR. I'm just doing a quick little heads up video here. I've just discovered that you can now hear the first two tracks from the upcoming 50th anniversary stereo remixing of Sgt Pepper. They are available on Spotify, they are available on Tidal. I'm also going to assume they're available on Apple Music, but I don't subscribe to Apple Music, so I couldn't tell you, but I'm sure they're there. I have discovered they're not available on YouTube as of yet. I have been aware of the fact that for the last couple days you can listen to one of the outtake tracks that will be included on this 50th anniversary re-release as part of the deluxe bonus features. But this is the first where we're going to be able to hear the actual finished studio tracks, and we're going to hear what these new remixes from Giles Martin sound like. I'm going to give a little bit of an initial first reaction. I don't want to say too much because I want to explore this a little bit more, but just on first listen here, definitely I will say you can hear an immediate difference here. The original stereo remix, the original stereo mixes had a lot of extreme separation. And in the 2009 remasters and even in the first 80s CD releases, what we got were remastings of those original stereo mixes where there was a lot of extreme separation. You'd hear the vocals coming from one side, guitar and bass coming from another. These days, when we hear stereo, we hear it more surrounding us like this. Back then the stereo was more like this on those albums. And so I feel like we're definitely hearing it more like this with this remixing. As I listened to it, I did some A-B comparisons from these new remixes to the 2009 remasters. And I just made a playlist on Spotify so I could do this. And at times I was surprised where previously it was like this, where more it was like this. A good example is Paul McCartney's opening vocals in Sgt. Pepper. In the original stereo remasters, his vocals are coming at one side. In this, they're much more centered now. Yet in other areas, they stayed with the more extreme separation. George Harrison's lead guitar is still just coming from one side. When you listen to it in headphones. So it's interesting to see what choices he's made, Giles Martin I'm referring to, what choices he's made insofar as where he's bringing the stereo more centered and where he's still keeping the separation. Another thing I noticed is on with a little help from my friends, Ringo's drum riff that he plays, that little solo drum riff that he plays not too far into the song, is a lot more enhanced. It has a lot more depth. You feel it more. There's a drum roll that he does on the part where they're singing Billy Shears during that opening part that I'm not sure if I ever noticed it before in the original stereo 2009 remasters. I certainly noticed it a lot more in this remix, and then I went back to the original 2009 remix and said, oh yeah, it's there, but it just wasn't as noticeable. It was probably more subliminal. At any rate, these are just some of the first things I've noticed. Sometimes when we hear these remixings, we can immediately, want to push it away because it's not what we're used to. Other times we might just react more positively because, oh, it's new, it's different, and I tend to fall in the latter in this respect. Once again, these are just my first initial impressions. I want to spend a little bit more time listening to these, comparing them, hearing them under different circumstances as I kind of get my thoughts on it. But overall, definitely I will say you can hear a difference. And overall, I will say I feel like this is accomplishing what it needs to accomplish. And so at this point now, I'd really like to just give you the heads up, alert you to it, go listen to it, and I really want to hear what you think. And so really looking forward to your comments, everybody. Thank you very much, and going to be interesting to see how the rest of the album sounds. Bye.